This is a 1950 Russian lens, a knockoff of a Leica lens, mounted on a 2015 Leica SL camera. Do I recommend it? Let's go. Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. This is photo class number 338. I'm so happy to be with you today. I have a lovely assistant now. Her name is Sienna. She doesn't like being on camera, but she helps me tremendously edit these videos and do all the background research on everything we talk about here on this channel. All right, who am I? Carmine from New York, professional photojournalist since 1973 here in Manhattan, New York City. It's my pleasure to give you guys 50 years of experience in photography so you can go on your journey and take whatever tips and tricks I give you. This education is priceless. When I was in photography school, there was no internet. You had to learn in a classroom the old school way. Okay, what are we talking about today? This is the Industar lens.
We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher.
Now, you have to know about this lens and why there's a rubber band on it. All right, it's the Industar 22 made in Russia lens. It's a 50mm f3.5 lens, collapsible, which means that if I turn this lens, it'll actually go inside the camera. That was fine when it was mounted on a film camera, but right behind this lens mount is the sensor, and you don't want this lens collapsing inside and touching the sensor. So a trick is you just put a rubber band around it once it's fully extended, and it won't go in and scratch your sensor. Okay, it's a clone. This Russian lens is a clone, meaning a knockoff, of the Leica Elmar 50mm f3.5. This lens runs about $62, cleaned, lubricated, and adjusted on eBay. There's about 900 of these for sale. Okay. It has only 4 elements. You want less elements because elements steal light and information. What's information? Details.
It has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky just too hard.
Now, the lens was made back in 1950s to the 60s with an M39 mount. Now, the camera I'm using is the Leica SL 24 megapixel full frame mirrorless digital camera. It has an L mount, and there are numerous adapters out there under $20. You can adapt almost any lens to any camera. Okay. So this is the PHOTOJOURNALIST. I bought it. They're not a sponsor. It goes from the 39 mount, the M or L 39 mount, which is the lens, to the Leica L mount. Okay. Now, the way you focus this lens is right here on the bottom. Okay, because this was made for a rangefinder. On some adapters, right? When you go to focus with this focusing knob, as you push it to get infinity, some of them don't let you get quite infinity because it's just mechanical. It's touching over here. So you may have to actually grind out a little spot on your metal adapter. However, with this PHOTOJOURNALIST, the one I picked up, there's no issue. I still get infinity focus, no problem. More about this lens, the f-stop ring, the aperture ring, is right on the front. Okay, and you just gently put your fingers in here and move it. Now I just set it on f8. Okay, it's pretty hard to see. I set it on f8. That's where I shoot this lens. That's where I shoot all my lenses, except if I'm going to shoot wide open for a bokeh effect. Why do I always shoot on f8? Because it's the sharpest aperture on 99% of every lens ever made, even vintage lenses.
We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Okay, the lens has 10 aperture blades. Now, the photos you're going to see throughout this video, all right, I shot this way. I put the camera on aperture priority, set the lens at f8. Now the ISO, I put it on auto ISO. I rarely use auto ISO, but the Leica SL and most digital cameras are pretty good using auto ISO. You just put a range, the minimum, like 50 in this case, and the maximum ISO, 400, because it was a very bright, sunny day. There was no need to go higher. Do I recommend this lens? Absolutely. As you look at the photographs, you'll see the clarity and just the beautiful rendition that this lens gives your photography. Let's take a look now at all the photographs I shot with this Industar 22 lens made in the 1950s on a 2015 Leica SL camera. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.